today is learning to see the essential. Now we need to differentiate between what is essential and what is non essential. See, anything we do to take care of this body, wake up, eat, sleep, earn, seek comfort, pleasure, all those are definitely essential for taking care of this physical, materialistic body. But what makes me human being? That is a true essential that we are talking about today. What differentiates me from being animal like? I'm look wise human being, but behavior wise, somewhere stuck as a child, unable to see what the other person could be hinting, could be meaning, learning to see or interpret others' behaviors from a different perspective, not just getting stuck with my own belief system and my own perception. So, that is what we're going to be talking, learning to see the essential. Let me give you an example. A parent, she discovers that her child has been on Instagram talking to a friend and she doesn't like it. And she walks into the school and yells at the teachers to not have instilled proper values, not have taught the children to not use Instagram, and somehow to bring this to a stop. She is anxious, clearly. Now, the principal or the teachers are also equally anxious. They want to kind of get back, argue with the parent who is giving the phone, who is not monitoring them, her at home, who is giving all the privileges. And the arguments don't stop here. Both parties are offended. Mother says school is not taking responsibility. School says parents are not taking responsibility. Somewhere between us two adults, the child is stuck. And we are not addressing the essential element here. What we are called here to do is look at a little deeper level. Whatever parent is telling appears reasonable. We have marketed the school where we take care of your child, we build their values, we take care of their curricular needs, etc. Maybe because of that she has enrolled her child in this particular school. And what teachers are also saying is right. Parents have to take responsibility. They have greater influence on the child. But nobody is looking one level deeper. Now, when I see the parent being anxious, now why is she anxious? Just questioning, just asking why. Why could she be anxious rather than taking it very personally and saying, how could she be blaming the school? Now, why is she anxious? How would I be anxious? What would I be doing if I were in her shoes? Somewhere you see the fear in the parent. Fear that her daughter may be slipping out of her hands. Fear that the daughter may not be listening to her. She doesn't know. Fear that she is helpless and somewhere she wants to seek help and somehow put her daughter back on track. And she doesn't know that because she has not developed the skill of looking one level deeper. Why am I going and yelling at the teachers? Ultimately, teachers are not going to be responsible for the child. It's temporary arrangement. Parents will have to undergo the pain outcomes of whatever happens. And teachers also, if they see the parent is feeling helpless, she is scared, then the way teachers react, who is giving her the phone? You are the one giving her the privileges, will change, will soften. Get that parent into talking terms to feel settled. Just asking, are you scared that you're not being able to support her at home? Or if a teacher resonates with that scenario, I see what you're saying. My daughter is also not listening to me at home for whatever reasons. Such emotions are very difficult to express. We do not know how to articulate them. The guilt of not raising the child properly, or in the teacher's mind, the guilt of not paying attention to this child hanging out with the other child. You know, Somewhere I want to protect it. I don't want to accept. I feel exposed. So somewhere I keep debating about it, hiding about it, right? So instead of saying I'm scared, I don't know how to help my daughter. If she could say that I need help, right? I mean, that's truly what it is, right? She's asking for help. She probably doesn't have time or tools. So thinking a level deeper is learning to see the essential. When a child misbehaves, why is the child misbehaving? Is it the chocolate they're crying for? Is it the dress you did not buy for them crying for? Or is it acceptance? Is it a feeling of belonging? Right? I might be a working parent who travels a little, and then I'm guilty every time I leave my children and family behind, and I come back with gifts to compensate for my absence. So, thinking it a little deeper, essential element there is my children need my time, not my gifts. But then I teach this to children. My attention is in the form of gifts. I've bought you gifts, go play with them, don't bother me. And growing up, children learn this behavior that if I compensate through some gifting, I don't have to give time. These are some of the beliefs that we are carrying also. So we come back to this inner work, that I need to understand. How do I answer? How do I calm myself down? How do I learn to look below the surface a little bit? So when I say learning to see the essential, that doesn't mean we are agreeing with the parent. Yeah, we take all the responsibility and don't worry, your daughter will be cared for in the school. No, no, it's not agreeing with her. It is trying to see along with her what she could be feeling deeper down, allowing her to speak without labeling her, without judging her, without defending myself, learning to simply listen. Half the frustration that parent carries will be gone. Parent also has come to school to complain before she goes back to work. And teachers are also busy in the school and they have to care for other things. They don't have time for the parent. This could be the reality. Now, in that situation, can teachers tell, we can have a phone call, we can talk over a phone, or come back in the evening, or tomorrow come a little early and we can sort it out? Many different options may come up. Some we agree upon, some may not agree. But understanding that me as an adult not learning to see the essential is creating an environment for the child to cover up as well. See, children imitate us, children look up to us. Am I worthy of that imitation there? Is everyone in the conversation feeling understood? Or somewhere someone is walking away still frustrated, feeling that I was unable to convince, they don't understand me, everyone feeling alone. And feeling lonely is very delicate, fragile situation. I don't want to be alone. I want to be with someone, trying to partner with someone to come with this solution after collaboration. So I kind of know that what my thinking is right to a certain extent. That's why collaboration helps. Otherwise, I am super, I'll be blamed if something doesn't go. Oh, you did this to your child, you did that to your child, you didn't listen to me. That's the responsibility has to come in as a community. Neither teachers can do it alone, nor parents can do it alone. Children are out in between the teachers and parents as well. Even when they are with us as parents, they can do things which I'm not aware of. Same thing with the teachers. So the community has to come together if you truly care. And that is where seeing the essential in a relationship and two human beings come together, it becomes extremely important. That is developing this deeper perception. It is not about becoming a psychologist or analyzing everybody. It is putting myself on a pedestal. No, but pausing to see what thoughts may be coming in me. When I see a parent walk, what thoughts are arising in me? Am I ready? Am I prepared? If I'm not, let me go back and prepare for it. Because if not a parent, one parent today, there's another somebody going to be coming into my life. So I need to understand my own feelings, my own fears, my own judgments about myself. Questioning, am I reacting or am I listening? Am I trying to understand this person? What is that emotion underneath? Maybe I'm fearing I might lose job. Maybe I'm trying to prove myself as the coordinator and I'm unable to, and people are looking up there and ridiculing me. Maybe if I give in to this parent, 10 more parents will come tomorrow and expect me to do what they are unable to do at home. Visible is there is a parent complaining. The fear is hidden. The demand is visible, right? But that helplessness is hidden. So there are a lot of these hidden characters. It's like we know only the tip of the iceberg. We don't know what lies underneath it. Somewhere I need to see the visible behavior and try to understand the human being that is trying to hide behind that behavior. The hidden parts is what we are trying to see by labeling that as essential, because the hidden subconscious is driving our life on daily basis. So we need to develop this new way of meeting one another, learning to see the essential. So what is this person trying to communicate to me, trying to tell me, trying to get from me? And am I able to give or not? And can I express it? Yes, I'll take certain responsibility and I want you to do certain things at home. Or at this point of time, it's very difficult for me to do it, but let's figure out a way in a month's time, in a week's time. Trying to come to that state where each one of us walks away saying, I have a support from someone else. That is how the relationships flourish. Thank you.